and kind of just have fun with it, man. Because at the end of the day, it's a game that we've all played growing up, and I love it.
Stevenson played in Bluefield last year and started out in the Gulf Coast League. He put up big numbers for the season. He had 369 with 15 doubles, 6 triples, and 2 home runs. Stevenson continues to hit like he did the first year. We're going to see him real soon.
Back then they napped on me, now they all just act on me. Now I'm hot, they all on me. Pull out the Snapchats on me. I ain't got no Snapchat home. I think it's too personal. That's what I got Twitter for. Instagram, I'm back on. Back then they napped on me, now they all just act on me. Now I'm hot, they all on me. Pull out the Snapchats on me. I ain't got no Snapchat home. I think it's too personal. That's what I got Twitter for. Instagram, I'm back on. Like flex on you haters. Hi haters, this is my world, so it's all in my favor. I like all girls, yeah, all type of flavors, but that don't matter, cause
Hey guys, it's Cal Stevenson over here at the house in Fremont, getting a fresh cut today. Here's my story. Right now I'm with the Tampa Bay Rays organization. I was born and raised in Fremont, California. I have 3 younger brothers. We're all very involved in sports. It's kind of what we've kind of all been obsessed with our whole lives, and I think that's kind of brought me to who I am today. Growing up, I played 3 sports, primarily 2 though. Baseball, basketball were the 2 ones that I really enjoyed playing a lot, and we from playing pickup games in the front yard, wiffle ball, playing with a tennis ball. In the street playing basketball, you got pickup football games out there. I was very fortunate to have a younger brother and some friends on the block who we could enjoy playing with. So, that's where I would say, started getting into it and having a passion for all those kinds of things. I started playing baseball over here at FNYB in Fremont. Played there for about 3 to 4 years. I think right when I was done playing there is when I started getting the travel ball, and right when I got into travel ball, I started playing up, just because I had older friends who had played on teams, and it was just a better fit for me in terms of getting comfortable and transitioning to that part of the game. And then obviously when you get into travel ball, you're starting to go all around the state, and state leads to countrywide, so you're starting to make these cool trips to Cooperstown, Florida. I've been to Colorado, Arizona, all those states growing up in travel ball, and I thought it was a great opportunity for me to grow as a baseball player. I started out high school at Newark Memorial High School. It's over here right by Fremont, little town, Newark, California. First year there, I really struggled. Everything wasn't milk and cookies, right? It was a struggle, man. I had to make a lot of adjustments and get through some battles of my own, and I think that really helped me grow into my sophomore year. My sophomore year is kind of when I started to break out and establish myself as a pretty good baseball player, I would say. And I was very, very grateful to go through those struggles, because it just opens your eyes and makes you realize this game isn't easy, and you got to work your butt off to really get somewhere in it. After my sophomore year, I went and played in Georgia for 6 weeks, and I think there is when I started to realize, hey, like, you could do this thing. You could do college, you could go out and live pro ball life. So, I was away from home. I was getting comfortable being on my own, and I think that's what kind of helped me going into junior year. In the fall, I started getting recognized by some schools. I started getting into the recruiting process, and I kind of just took off from there. Junior year, I played really well. I pitched and did my thing at the plate. So I just started becoming and establishing myself as a good baseball player, and I was really happy with what was going on in my life. After my junior year, I transferred to go play for my dad over at Kennedy High School. That was my senior year, so I thought that was a great opportunity to go play for him. He's a guy that had taught me so much and helped me grow over my whole life, honestly. So shout out to my dad, Jim Stevenson. going into that summer, I got to go and take the opportunity to go play at the Area Code Games over in Long Beach, California. There's a lot of great players over there that have had the opportunity to play in college and go play professional baseball. So, I was really happy that I was chosen to go play over there. And, that opportunity led me to go play scout ball for the Giant Scout team. You play against a lot of really good players like, Joe Demirs, Nico Horner, just those guys, for example, really elite baseball players that have gone a long way in the game. I was really, really happy about those opportunities. And during scout ball, I actually took a visit to the University of Nevada in Reno. I was there at the beginning of September, right when I came back home. I felt like that was the best place for me to go play my college career and start my college career. It was an awesome town, college town. That's what I loved about it. It was a little high in elevation, so it was good for hitters, and helped me out a little bit while I was there. And I thought it was just a great opportunity for me to take my game to a whole nother level. After I graduated high school, I played for a team called the Puff Caps. It was a team full of incoming freshmen that was going to a 4-year school, and that had a lot of talent on that team. You had guys who went to a lot of major schools like the SEC, Pac-12. You had some Big Ten schools in there. Just a lot of guys that could help you grow your game. One of them, Channing Nesbitt, he was a big pitcher out here in the Bay Area. Ended up going to UW, had the opportunity to play with him. But after that summer, I went to school, and I think that's when it kind of hit me. It's like, you're on your own. You have to be able to do stuff on your own and kind of be an adult. You're not in that stage of your life where you're relying on your mom and dad anymore. You got to wake yourself up, get to class, get in the weight room, find time to get everything done and still succeed at a high level. My freshman year at Nevada was tough at first. My whole life I was one of the better players on the team, and it was a tough pill to swallow when you go and play that opening weekend and you're not in the starting lineup. So I think after that first 2 weekends when I wasn't playing to start the game, there was some times where I had some pinch hit at bats and I got to play some defense, but I wasn't getting a lot of opportunities to kind of get out there. And after that second or third weekend, I got to play a little bit more and took advantage of my opportunity that I was able to get out there and kind of just have fun with it, man. Because at the end of the day, it's a game that we've all played growing up, and I love it. And I just kind of didn't want to lose that opportunity that I was having out there. And I ended up having a really good year. Was a freshman All-American and was co-freshman of the year with Corey Voss over at New Mexico. So I was really fortunate to kind of get my head right and take the right steps in order to succeed. After my freshman year at Nevada, I got the opportunity to go play in the Northwoods League in Minnesota. Like my second week there, I found out my coach from Nevada had gotten hired over at Arizona, University of Arizona in Tucson, Arizona. And I was faced with a tough decision. I had a lot of success with the coach there and didn't know who was coming in at the time. And that's when I made the decision to transfer over to Chabot Junior College over here in Hayward, California. It was closer to home. Thought it was an easier decision for me to be around my family and still have an opportunity to go play somewhere after there. Literally my first day there, I did not expect this. My coach showed up from Arizona and basically said, "Hey, we want you to come here." So right there, I had always wanted to play in the Pac-12. I've always wanted to challenge myself as a player, as a student. So right there and then, I committed to him and wanted to take that opportunity and not let that go. So at Chabot, in the fall, I had ended up tearing my wrist, some cartilage in my wrist, had some surgery, missed about 6 weeks from that, and that was really tough on me just because I had never been away from baseball that long. So figuring everything out in terms of trying to catch the ball again, feeling comfortable with that, and trying to swing was the hardest thing. I think that took me so long to figure out. So I didn't really get to play in the fall that much. I think I played like the last week or two in some fall scrimmage games, and kind of struggled in the season during the spring at Chabot. And you know, I had some good games, I've had some bad games, but I think that was just a great learning lesson. Like, hey man, like this isn't gonna be easy for you. You gotta fight through this. You know, I was still fortunate enough to get drafted by the Dodgers in the later part of day 3, so felt like it was a good opportunity for me to still go to school and get my education. I wasn't quite ready to take that leap to pro ball. Just wasn't big enough. I wasn't physical enough to get into pro ball, so I decided to stay in school and stay with my commitment to Arizona. After my sophomore year at Chabot, I had the opportunity to go play in the Cape Cod League over in Massachusetts. You know, and that was a big stepping stone for me. You know, you come from junior college baseball and you go play in an elite league like that, where you got the best college baseball players in the country from, you know, the Pac-12, SEC, Big Ten. You know, there's even a lot of really good players in mid-major schools. So, you know, I was really grateful for that opportunity, and I think that helped me get into my fall at Arizona when I transferred over there. And you know, junior year was great. Had a lot of good games, and had the opportunity to play almost every day in the outfield over there for the Arizona Wildcats. Senior year at Arizona was awesome. You know, I was surrounded by a great group of guys, a lot of younger guys. You know, I thought it was really well balanced with the guys that came in, and you know, we had some experience. So you know, it was a good team to be a part of. A lot of energy, a lot of fun. You know, I got, like I said, I had an opportunity to play with a lot of great players, and I think that kind of carried into the draft. You know, we had 8 guys drafted that year in 2018, and you know, I was just really grateful to be a part of a group that wanted so much more than to be a part of college baseball, but they wanted to play the game after college and kind of live out their dream and love it. The draft process was it was a crazy one. You know, you're a senior, you don't know what's going to happen. You could get drafted, you could sign as a free agent. So, you know, I had a lot of emotions going through me for a couple weeks, just wondering what was going to happen with my career. You know, you have other teams talking to you, and you know, you just don't want to know where you're going to end up. You just kind of want it to be over with. So I was very fortunate when the Blue Jays ended up selecting me. I'd just gotten a text. I was actually watching a movie on the couch, and you know, I'd gotten a text saying, "Hey, you ready to go?" Text back, "Hell yeah, let's do this. I want to get this going. You know, I'm happy for this opportunity." So, yeah, I was very fortunate for the opportunity that the Blue Jays had given me, and just took it from there. Interleague life, it's tough. You know, you're away from your family for about 7-8 months. You really have to adjust to moving around a lot. You know, you're going to hotels. You know, you get promoted. You do all these things, and just a lot of energy. You're out there every day on the field. You know, some days you feel like you just don't want to be out there, but you know, you got to find some sort of motivation to where you're just like, hey man, like, I want to make it to the big leagues. I got to show up today. I got to give what I got, and just make the most of it. So, you know, a lot of people had complained or told me, no, I wouldn't say complained, but they would tell me stories about how like the conditions weren't as great and all that. But it's like, hey man, if you want to get to the big leagues, like, it's going to be worth it one day. And I think that's kind of what has kept me going. You know, that's always been my goal as a kid, and I don't want to let that all go to waste. You know, I've always wanted to be a big leaguer, and I think living the minor league life definitely has some up to it, just because it makes you open your eyes and say, hey man, like, I want to be there. You know, I want to be with the best players in the world and live that life. 2019 spring training went really well. Had a lot of good at bats. Wasn't really sure where I was going to end up. You know, and a couple of weeks before spring training ended, they had let me know that I was going to go to play in High A with the Blue Jays. Let's go to the Dunedin Blue Jays. That was in the Florida State League. Oh man, that league was tough. You know, you got to deal with the weather, and you know, it's just hot all the time, humid, really muggy. So you just gotta find ways to get through it. Started off really slow there. Didn't really figure things out till like the first month. I think it was bad, and then I kind of figured it out. I hit a little stretch where I found myself again, and led to a lot of great things for me. You know, I was a postseason All-Star there, and I had a great time. You know, built a lot of good relationships with some really good players who are someday gonna find their way in the major leagues. But I ended up getting traded to the Astros on the last day of the trade deadline. You know, that was tough. You know, it's kind of I would kind of compare it to the draft process. You know, pre-draft, where you're just really confused on what's going on, and just trying to find some sort of emotion to get you there. But at the end of the day, I was really grateful for what the Blue Jays had given me, and you know, obviously the Astros had seen a lot to where they wanted to you know, do something with my career and take a chance on me. And so, you know what, I was really grateful for that opportunity to move on with teams and go from there. After the first off-season, my first full season in the off-season, I went to Sparta training ground. Just for me, it was probably one of the better things in terms of investing myself, my body, and getting bigger, getting stronger. Over here in the Bay Area, I just thought it was a good opportunity for me to grow. I mean, a lot of good players like Mitch Haniger, Daniel Descalso. Those are two guys in the major leagues, but a lot of minor league guys, a lot of guys you could connect with. Dom Marolio, Chris Bubich, Andre Nebe. You know, it was just a good opportunity for me to get going and learn my body and kind of just go from there. The off season for me, I like a lot of downtime just because you're constantly on the move during the season and spring training and stuff. Just for 8 months, to just nonstop. So for me, I usually take like a month off, really just spend time with family and enjoy being around my family for that time, catching up a little bit. But after that first month, I start getting back into workouts, and usually after the workouts, it's just downtime. Again, it's like you're hanging out with family. You know, you can never be around your family too much. Those people are supporting you and your dream. So I like to make sure that I spend time with them and take full advantage of that time I have with them. But other than that, I mean, I don't really do baseball stuff until about 2 months after I finish my last game in the season. So after that, I just kind of break things down, get back into it 2 months after, and pick up on it like I'm playing every day. About a month before spring training, I was traded to the Tampa Bay Rays. That was the second time in about 5 months that I had been traded. So it was cool, you know. Being traded is, like I said, it's very emotional. You get to be around a group of guys and get comfortable with somebody, but at the end of the day, other teams want you. It's good to feel wanted by more than one organization. So I was very, very excited for my opportunity with the Rays. And then right when I got to spring training, it's just like I hit the ground running. I had known a lot of the guys that I had played against when I was with the Blue Jays. I had played the Rays a lot, so you know, I was excited to play with some guys that I had played against. And then I wasn't there too long. It was about 3 weeks. All this stuff kind of happened, and I was back here. Once I got back home from spring training, after we got sent home for coronavirus reasons, I didn't really know what to do. I was kind of like, I mean, honestly, we were all just like everyone else. Like, when is this going to end? How long is it going to be? So I was just trying to stay ready in terms of baseball stuff. And then it kept lingering on. So as we got deeper into it, I started doing what I could in terms of getting at bats in. We did some live at bats. called the COVID League. Shout out to all those guys that made it. You know, you got Nick here, Andre, Nebe, you got Bubich, you know, a lot of college guys, a lot of pro guys mixed up. It was just cool, man. You know, you got a lot of guys that really cared about getting better and taking advantage of opportunities that were put out there for them. So I was really grateful to have a lot of good guys around that wanted to keep this thing going and make up for some time that we're not going to get back. Some advice I'd have for kids going through the same situation that I had gone through, or, you know, want to end up playing professional baseball or just anything in life, honestly, is just you have to challenge yourself. None of us woke up and we're put in the situation we're into today. We're not born into this. You know, I would just say really challenge yourself. A lot of days are going to be really tough, but there's going to be a lot of days where you're going to have some really good days, you know. But challenging yourself and putting yourself in those situations to where you could really thrive and get through those battles. I think it kind of exposes your character and really gets you to bury down into those tough times. So, you know, really challenge yourself and get through it. Shout out to my dad, my brother Cody, Carter, Cameron, my wife Rebecca, a lot of those people who have been supporting me, living my dream. Also want to thank Frank Duran for letting us get our work in during the pandemic. I know it was a tough time, but you know, he gave us a lot of opportunities. I want to give a shout out to Mark Mathias and Stephen Kwan. You know, you two are another reason why I'm doing this. We're small town guys living out our dream, keeping this thing going. I want to give a shout out to Nick Adgar, give me this fresh cut, looking good. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoy my story.